Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to another Hearthstone deck video. The season is nearly over. It's only 2 or 3 more days to go. And also the Angora expansion is nearly there. We only are, potentially we're only a week away from Angora. So that's why today I like to test out some interesting deck that is still really good. We are testing out a token deck, Token Druid deck alongside MALYGOS as another winning condition, and the deck was made by Bigfoot and he was able to play the deck on the Legend ladder and had quite some success with it. Around 65% win rate, so pretty good. I'm definitely interested to see how that is working. We're going against the Rogue here. Potentially he's playing Water Rogue, that is right now the most played Rogue deck. So let's see about that. Rank 5, so it doesn't matter if we are winning or losing. We will not go any way back into the ranks because of the changed ladder system. And we can just go Wild Growth here, ramping up a bit. Opponent is starting a bit slower. If he is using some pirates, then it's definitely not going for that right now. And next turn then Mire Keeper. With that we can ramp up even more. We can just create a slime, we'll see about that. Potentially just ramping up here. Opponent just going for a weapon, yeah, definitely ramp up. Go for that. We're getting another empty mana crystal, so that on the next turn we're already at 6 mana, while our opponent is right now only at 3. So 2 mana ahead, that's quite a lot. We have the Wilder Teacher, that is alongside 2 spells that we can play right now. Pretty good, but we need to wait a bit longer. The Nourish is a bit too expensive. Fan of Knives. Alright, that's 1 damage on the Keeper, not killing it at the moment. Wow, and that's everything. Really unusual. So we now also got the Mark of the Lotus. That means if we are playing the Teacher, the Innervate and the Mark of the Lotus, we would create a pretty big board. The only problem is that we don't really need the 2 mana crystals here, right? Because if we are dropping the Violet Teacher, the Innervate, we can only just go for the Shapeshift. But the turn would be really good. But I would say we are waiting 1 more turn and we're just going for the Nourish, drawing 3 cards here. And then make a huge turn next. Raven Idol, Ancient of War, and another Nourish. Interesting. So let's see, we also have the Fandral, so it might be useful to wait with the Raven Idol. Let's just hit him for 3 in the face. That's definitely good enough. Opponent is going so slow, not sure what his plan here is. 9 cards in the hand, nothing played so far besides the single Fan of Knives, and that was only used to draw another card. So either his hand is really poor. Oh, Shadow Sensei, with no stealth unit on board. So his hand might be really poor. So we could go Violet Teacher, Fandral, Innervate, and then we can only play either the Raven Idol or the Mark of the Lotus. With the Raven Idol, of course, giving us more value, but with the Mark of the Lotus, we can just buff everything. I guess we're going Fandral. We need to start with the Violet Teacher here, by the way. Innervate. Then the Fandral is coming. And we are going, for now, let's go for the Raven Idol. We have seen 1 Fan of Knives already, so there's a decent chance that he has not a second one in his hand right now. Another Ancient of War is good. Oh, we're getting another Innervate. Yeah, why not pick that? Even better, then we are going for the Mark of the Lotus, of course, and creating a huge board. We can take down the Shadow Sensei. And now the Rogue is in trouble. Even if he has a Fan of Knife, he needs another spell damage power on the board, so he would need Blood Mage Sounders, Fan of Knives to clear all the small tokens here. But then there's still Fandral on the board, there's still the Teacher on the board, and more stuff is coming, especially if the Fandral stays. We're just going Nourish. Preparation. Now what's that? A Zap. Okay, we're getting a Fandral back, which is alright. And oh, what is he doing? Shadow Rager, really? That's a heavy stealth deck. Counterfight coin, 4 mana, and Shadow Sensei. Ooh, might be a stealth deck. Interesting stuff. I would say we're just stopping the Firelord, which might kill this one. And we will take down the Shadow Sensei just to be sure and have a higher chance to kill the Shadow Rager. The rest is going for the face. So I'm happy if we're hitting 8 in the face, I'm happy if we're killing the Shadow Rager, everything is fine. And then most likely we are able to win next turn if we are killing the Shadow Rager, which is happening. So we are currently, we have 10, 16 damage here on the board, and there's a concede. We would be playing the Nourish and then drawing some sort of damage card and hit him in the face. So first game, first victory. Amazingly played by the opponent. Not sure what his deck is. Could be really a stealth rogue, but that is not really working at the moment. Though an interesting rogue build we have seen so far. Let's go now to a second game. Maybe we're getting another interesting build. We will see. Going for a second game, and now we are facing a priest, so that will be a slower matchup. Also, the rogue was definitely not going fast. And we are definitely keeping the Wild Growth and the Keeper. So 2 ramp cards here early on. Confirm. Getting a Mark of the Lotus and the Firelord. So Firelord's definitely not the right card to get early on. Mark of the Lotus might help us. We will see. There's a teacher. So we have the opportunity to just play a bit slower and keep the coin and play the Wild Growth on turn 2. Because otherwise we are at 3 mana next turn and we can't really play anything. So we will wait here. Normally the best play is always go coin Wild Growth for the extra ramp early on. But for now we're just going Wild Growth on the next turn and then play the Keeper on the turn 3. As you can see, the priest is only healing back. So standard priest opening, nothing happening here early on. And if he's playing Dragon Priest, this is a bad start for him. Otherwise we might expect it to see a Reno Priest somehow. Dragon Priest normally has something to play on turn 1 or 2. Blackwing, so it is a Dragon Priest. It might be a Reno Dragon Priest, maybe. Anyway, we are going for the Keeper here. Getting another empty mana crystal, just to make sure that we can ramp up. We then have 6 already next turn, which means the Firelord can be played if we go for the Innervate. Otherwise we can play the Teacher here, Innervate, coin, Mark of the Lotus, but then we also want to have something else to play alongside, because we then have 5 extra mana to go. So we would need something else to play. Otherwise we are going Innervate here and the Firelord. He's killing the Keeper with the Technician. And the Technician will survive. So let's see if he's also healing them him back. No need. Cabal Talon Priest. Looks like he's buffing his units heavily. Then the Firelord really makes sense. We have a decent chance to kill one of the units that is getting buffed here. Oh yeah, let's do that. Definitely don't want to hit the face. It's very important that we're hitting one of the units here. So the 3/6 is going down. Killer the Blackwing Technician. And because he's playing Priest, he might just play a Shadow Word Death now, killing the Firelord. Would be painful, so would really hope that he has not the cards in his hand right now. Would be really good. Then we have a chance to kill the Blackwing Technician as well next turn. Plus we can, for example, drop the Ancient of War, which is another huge card. If he's going for the Shadow Word Death, he is losing 3 mana, so he only has 2 mana to go, and that might be then lesser heal on the Blackwing. And we're just dropping the Ancient of War, because one Shadow Word Death then gone. There's a less chance that he has another one in his hand. He is going for another Blackwing Technician and a Twilight Well. That means there is no Shadow Word Death in his hand, and that is in fact really good. Raven Idol. Yeah, you know what? For now the Ancient of War is coming, and then next turn Teacher, Raven Idol, Coin, Mark of the Lotus, and potentially the spell that we discovered with the Raven Idol. That will be a pretty huge turn. Only problem would be if there is a nice little AoE card in his hand. Dragonfire Potion, for example. He's playing that. Holy Nova is also killing all the small tokens, but we would keep the other units on the board. Dragonite Operative. He's now looking at 3 cards from our deck and picking 1. Luckily the Malygos is already in our hand. Don't want to get him the Malygos. Also he's normally not picking that, because the only damage dealing cards are the AoE cards. The rest is only a single target removal that is not dealing damage. Nourish. So it might be better. Let's go for the Nourish here, draw 3 cards and keep it the Teacher for now. Yeah, why not? Our board is really strong, so let's do that. We're getting a Living Roots, another Raven Idol, and we get another Living Roots, and that is really strong with the Malygos. Can't complain about that. So shall we play something else here? Definitely taking out the Blackwing. And we might play 1 Raven Idol right now, just to be efficient mana-wise. The rest is then coming next turn. Let's discover another spell. Definitely want to see some extra damage. Naturalize, Soul of the Forest, and the Mark of the Wild. Oh. Soul of the Forest is good in combination with the Wilder Teacher, so probably picking this one. Then let's go for that, and one in his face. Hopefully Firelord is killing the 5-6. That is happening. Wonderful outcome. Without any Shadow of Death in his hand, he's so crushed right now. And in our deck there is no card that will just kill the Ancient of War. If he was picking a Swipe here, he's still not able to kill the Ancient of War with a small Twilight Whelp. I would say it's working pretty good. Most likely we are playing the Teacher next turn. Soul of the Forest, Coin, Mark of the Lotus, Raven Idol. That's a super great turn. Even if he's then clearing the board. Ah, there's a Shadow of Death. Finally got there. But even if he's clearing the board, we just got more stuff on the board. And the MALYGOS is coming, which is dealing damage with the Living Roots for the face. Okay, Twilight Guardian. And Fandral as well. Fandral as well. If you're playing Fandral here alongside, we're not able to also drop the Soul of the Forest. And I really love to play the Soul of the Forest right now. So we will not play the Fandral at the moment. We're going for the Wilder Teacher. We are going for the Raven Idol. We're discovering a spell here. Another Raven Idol, yeah, that's definitely the way to go. Then we are using the coin. We will play the Mark of the Lotus. And then the Soul of the Forest is coming. Everything is getting buffed, and we now have a lot of Death Rattle units on board. So even if he's using a Holy Nova, even if he's using a Dragonfire Potion, we are just getting more units on board. We can kill his Twilight Guardian easily with the nice little Ancient of War that was getting buffed. So the damage output is really huge right now, even without the MALYGOS. Okay, there's a Holy Nova, playing that, dealing 2 damage to each unit. That means we are just spawning a lot of trance here. We still have the Ancient of War on the board, we still have the Wilder Teacher on the board. And he only has a small Twilight Whelp here. Oh, he picked the Breath. Okay, so probably then 1 damage to draw another card. I was going for 3, interesting. Interesting that he was picking the 3 damage. Was no need. So Fandral is coming. Going for the Raven Idol, so we're discovering another minion and we're discovering another spell. Yeah, that's one. That one is the right go. Cenarius is super great. We have a Feral Rage here, Moonfire, and the Starfall. Because we have MALYGOS in hand, we have the Living Roots, and then definitely the Moonfire is a way to go. That's a lot of extra damage that we can push out here. And for the rest, we're not going for the Living Roots right now. We will just pick up our hero power, hit him for 1, and the rest is going for the face. We played this one already. So he's down to 18. And if we're just dropping MALYGOS here, Moonfire will be 6, and the Living Roots will be another 7, so that will be 13 damage. And that's only a small bookworm, so he's definitely losing now. The agent is not helping him. So that is also the Power of the Wild. Super great. So we have the option to go Cenarius, but I just like to drop the MALYGOS here. That's good enough for the victory. And also concede. Kaboom, kaboom, man. Easy peasy. We are going for a 3rd game. And this one might be a real test because we are facing a Varrier. And our deck is not super fast. So the Varrier might be a problem. And we have a Swipe, which is a turn 4 card. And because the Varrier just probably going Pirate Warrior, face. Turn 4 might be a bit too slow, so we might want to pick up stuff like the Living Roots, Wrath early on. So let's just pass that and replace. If we had an Innervate, then the Swipe would have been a better option. So we're getting Living Roots, we're getting the Keeper and Savage Roar. Savage Roar is definitely not helping us. We will start here, we got the Power of the Wild. If we're just dropping the Living Roots here and he's starting with the first mate, he will then use Patches and his weapon to clear the Zaplings. But we will see about that. Otherwise, definitely going for the Power of the Wild on turn 2. And then we have some nice little units on board. Good enough in most cases for the pirate. There is the first mate, unfortunately, so we will see some trades here. Now, it's one in the face. Okay, no trade. But we are still killing everything. Unfortunately, we are losing then all our units. But he's also using the pirates, only has a small weapon in his hand. Nothing really to play on turn 3. We might just go Power of the Wild here and summon a Panther. Otherwise, yeah, Shapeshift, not too great. He's spawning the Bloodcell Rider at the 3-3. We have a Nourish. That's really not helping us that much. So let's summon another unit here, which is good enough to not get killed by the Rusty Hook and good enough for trade. And he is most likely just going through the face. If he has another weapon, oh, Saucy Deck, and that might trade. Yep, that's trading. 3 in the face. The weapon is potentially also hitting the face. That means we are down to 24. He's going really, really hard here. We can only play the Keeper and ramping up a bit. The Nourish in this matchup is not great. So let's just ramp up more so that we can go to stuff like the Cenarius earlier. But not sure if we're really having the chance to go to that point. He's at 4, so the Elite might be coming. The Reaper might be coming with a coin. And it is a Reaper, of course it is a Reaper. So that's another 5 in the face, 8 in the face. Plus there is a Dread Corsair for free. That's a lot of damage. So we need to kill the Dread Corsair here for sure. Oh, that's not helping us, man. Shall we just go Nourish? Just Nourish and ramping up to play the Cenarius. Next turn. That's an option. The greatest one, because I'm still getting 8 damage in the face. Might be an option. If we're just picking up the Drake, we would need damage dealing spell. Living Roots, for example, would be by far the best option to go. Then we can deal 3 damage with that. Otherwise we might be going down here. Probably still doing it. Yeah. Let's just cross the fingers here and we're getting Malygos. No. That's too slow. So an Ancient of War would have also been good. We could have played the Town next turn. Saucy Captain. Still going for the face, of course. Wow, look at that. 13 damage in the face. Losing the weapon now. But still we are down to 3. Normally there's not a chance that we can come back, especially if we're just getting the high cost cards. We were not able to get single easy peasy destruction card here. That's really sucky. If we're now going for the Drake, which we unfortunately have to do, then we might get a destruction card, but then he's just dropping anything from his hand and is winning. So we got the Ancient of War and we're losing. I concede. Yeah, well played indeed, Pirate Warrior. So, as we could have seen here in the video, against the slower decks, the deck is definitely running good. Against Pirate Warrior, it is important to draw your destruction cards early on. We were not able to do that. We got stuff like the Keeper that is ramping us up, but if you're not able to follow up with that, for example with an Ancient of War, which is helping a lot against Pirate Warrior, then you don't stand a chance normally against the Pirate Warrior. If you're getting your early destruction cards, the Living Roots, for example, is really good against that. The Wrath then, to draw another card, to kill a pirate, easy peasy. Then you have a chance to combat the deck really good. But otherwise, Malygos, for example, is not helping here in this matchup, not at all. So that's the episode for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. The deck is really good. Just try it out and face some pirates with it, and you might have more luck than I am. So anyway, thank you for watching and see you then tomorrow with a new Hearthstone episode.